I mean, don't push yourself. We just learned that pull system working better. So don't push yourself.
Pull.
Okay. So, shall I start?
Yeah.
Okay, so hi guys, my name is Maria. For those who don't know me, I will present you the Parent Effectiveness Training, in short it's P.E.T. And as I told my friend here, Alexei, what's your name? No?
Alexei?
No? Alexander? And the rest of you, Alexander also?
Almost.
Alexei.
Alexis.
Alexis?
Anton.
Anton, that's
Alexandre.
Okay, so as I told before,
Yes.
Gordon, the psychologist who wrote this book and who developed this training program for parents, has also, he or his wife, I don't really remember, has also developed a training program for leaders. So it's the leader effectiveness training, and they are both based on the same philosophy. So I'm going to talk to you about the parenting thing because it's what is my focus right now. But you can just, if you're not interested in that, you can just, make the connection to the leadership style. So if we can just go to the next slide. So as I told you, this training program was developed in 1962 by Gordon, and he is considered to be a pioneer in his field after he has introduced this program. And it basically emphasizing on building strong and respectful connections between parents and children. If we go to the next slide. So the P.E.T. philosophy, it's not only a book or a program, it's an entire concept of being a parent. So it moves away from the traditional parenting style, which is authoritarian, and it's more, how can I say, it let the parent address the children's needs, but at the same time the parent can set clear boundaries about what he can accept from the children and what not. So this behavior fosters a very trustful environment for the child, where the children, they feel accepted in this environment and they can develop a sense of responsibility for their own actions, which is very important to build confidence and also for the future. If we can go to the next slide. So this P.E.T. philosophy is based on three very important pillars. We can see them as tools, and this is what I'm going to present to you in short. So one of these tools is the behavior window, which we can see in this image. The behavior window is a tool that helps us identify who owns the problem. And as you can see, it has 4 different states. It's the happy place, the no problem area, where everything is fine. It's the place where the child owns the problem, the place where the parent owns the problem, or the place where both parties have the problem. And you can ask me, is it so difficult to identify whose is the problem? And I can tell you that with children, yeah, sometimes it is. And I will give you an example for that. Let's say that there's a toddler and his mother, and they're in the park, for the child to play. The mother sits with the other fellow moms and she's chatting, and the kid is wandering around the park alone. So maybe everything is fine here and there's no problem, so we are at the happy place and everything is fine. But maybe the child had a fight with his friends and he cannot play with them and he's alone and he's feeling bad. In that case, it's the child's problem. Maybe the child, because it's a small child, is playing alone and he's enjoying that. It's very common for children to play alone and imagine things and so on. But the mother on the other side, watching the child alone, she feels stressed and she feels an agony that the child cannot socialize with other children, or it cannot communicate, or it's feeling bad and so on. In that case, the child is fine, but it's the mother's problem. But maybe both of them are true, and the child feels lonely and he cannot approach the other children and play with them, and the mother is feeling stressed and she's anxious about why the child is alone. And it is important to know who owns the problem, because it is the owner of the problem who has the responsibility to solve it. Because as you may know or may not know, as parents we have the urge to jump and fix the problem for the child. You know, give immediately a solution, which is it's not good, because this way it becomes a passive person. It has everything ready and it doesn't build the confidence, because by fixing the problem or giving advice immediately or moralizing and all these things that we as parents do, it's like we say to the child, you're not capable of doing this alone, so I will do it for you. It's an indirect message that we give to the child, and it's not good for it. So this behavior window is something very useful to keep in mind, to know at every time whose is the problem, and if it's not our problem as parents, we have to restrain ourselves and not jump right to give the solution to the child. The black line is the line of acceptance. Every one of us has a different line of acceptance. So I may be tolerant to noise, let's say, but my husband, the other parent, is not. So this is a problem for us because we give mixed signals to the children and so on. What is important is that we should show our line of acceptance, which behaviors are accepted and which are not. It's very important that the children know that. And in a younger age, they know that by observing us. It's what we talked earlier about young children, if they can adapt to this parenting style, and I'm going to talk about it later. So if we can go to the next slide. The other very important tool that Gordon suggests is the active listening. So the active listening is very useful in case the child has a problem. So what happens then? When a child has a problem and they come and want to share this problem, the parent should be very careful and just listen. It sounds simple, but it's not, because as we told previously, we have the urge to correct, to fix, to give advice, to make the counseling, to moralize, and give these messages to the child. But in active listening, what we should do is just restrain ourselves, filter every thought and every emotion, and just be there to understand and accept the emotions of the child, because this will open these doors of communication and these doors of emotional exchange, and the child will feel accepted and that they can trust the parent for every problem they have, and in the end they will find alone the solution. So, for instance, Gordon says that the methods to do the active listening is by reflecting, paraphrasing, and summarizing. It sounds a bit stupid when you do it for the first time, because it's like you're repeating what the child is saying. It can be like that, but what you actually have to do is, by what the child is saying, you are trying to understand what is the feeling from what they're trying to communicate. So, for example, let's say that there's an adolescent daughter and she comes from school and she says to the mother, I hate school. Okay, so what I would do, my first reaction would be, no, you don't mean that, school is great, your friends are going, well, not punch, but you know, you don't mean that, okay? Your friends are going to school, it's fine, school is fine, it's great. But you know, this way, it's like I'm cancelling the feelings of the child. So what I should do as a mother is just listen. So a mother would say, and these are examples from the book, okay, I can see you're furious about something that happened at school today. And only that. So the child has is feeling this acceptance. Okay, my mother got the message, so she can go on and explain what happened. So she says, yeah, it's this teacher, she's really stupid, she gave me a B while I had a straight A in the test, I had written so well and so on, and she's so unfair, she only thinks that boys are smart and girls are not smart and so on. Well, yeah, okay. So yeah, the mother says, okay, I understand, you're very disappointed because this teacher was unfair to you. And the child continues and says, yeah, she's so unfair and she's so stupid, and what should I do? I cannot change school, I cannot change class because all my friends go there and I have no other problems in this school, it's fine, it's great. Yeah, I just have to put up with her until the end of the year and, suck it up. So the mother didn't say anything. If the mother had from the beginning said, you cannot do anything, that's life, kid, okay, you have a stupid teacher, deal with it, well, the child could have reacted differently, okay? And the communication would have stopped there. But when the mother is open and she just accepts the conversation and the feeling and the frustration, then the child can open up and in the end it can find a solution. Or sometimes there's no solution, or the child cannot find the solution at that time, but at least it has expressed itself, and then at a later stage when the child is alone and more calm and so on, it can reflect on that and find a proper solution on its own. And this is the important part, to let the child find a solution on its own. What happens when it's not, can you go to the next slide? What happens when it's not the parent's problem, the child's problem, but it's the parent's problem? So, what we do as parents is that we are constantly giving you messages to the children. What is you messages? You messages is all these advices, orders, and all the things that we say to the children. So we're saying, get up, get dressed, you're gonna be late, don't do that, you're making a mess out of that, clean it. So all these things are putting children on the defensive. They are feeling that they are being accused. So instead of giving you messages, Gordon says that we should give the I messages. Don't say to the children what to do. Say to them how you feel when they are doing something. Share your experience and how their actions affect your own feelings and your own actions. So for instance, if children are making a mess, don't say don't do that, clean it up, stop it, something like that. You can just say, guys, I'm feeling really frustrated or really disappointed when I see the living room in such a mess. It can help me relax, and I'm really tired, for instance. So instead of accusing them, you again open a door for communication. And okay, of course, the children, they don't listen all the time, but they're not stupid either. They sometimes listen and they can understand and they can relate. Because at the time that the parents share the experience, the child can understand that he's a human also. He's not a God that is above of everything. He can feel tired, frustrated, disappointed, just like the child. So again, this is a door opener for communication and exchange of emotions. And it shows a healthy example of what to do when they are in this situation. So their friendships get better. The relationship with the parents get better because they learn to use the I messages as well. And if we go,
these two slides that you told us, I don't remember if it was in English or in Russian, but we had some book about conflictology for adults.
mm-hmm.
And they give the same stuff, like exactly the same.
Actually, it's common sense if you think about it, but the hard part is to put aside your own feelings and experiences from the past. And this is the hard, So if we go to the next one, So the next one is talking about conflict. The next slide.
Slide.
Thanks. Okay, so this tool, let's say, is where we are in the behavior window, in the place where both the child and the parent have a problem, and it's even difficult when this causes a conflict. So what we do most of the times is that we as parents are using our strength and power and make the children do what we want, like you are doing with him. You make him you make him be in this lousy presentation about parenting. Okay. And sometimes what we do, no, you didn't like this.
It's okay.
It's just a joke.
And sometimes what we do is just let the child do whatever it wants, because sometimes children can be so pressuring. They cry, they whine, they make you mad, and in the end you say, okay, do whatever you want. I don't care. Just leave me alone. I can't deal with you anymore. So the child does what he wants. It gets its way, and in every situation of those, there is a winner and a loser. It may be the parent or the child, but the traditional parenting is something of these both methods. So Gordon suggests that in times of conflict, what we should do is sit with the child and find all the possible solutions. And we have to pick up one or two, or I don't know, any, with which we are both feeling satisfied, and these solutions are accepted by both parties. There is an example in the book. I find it kind of very convenient because it's not like this in everyday life. So the daughter is going to school and the parent says, "Where are you going? It's raining outside, put on your raincoat." The child says, "No, I don't want to put it, I feel like stupid, all the children are wearing cool clothes and I don't want to put that shit, I don't like it." So the parent says, okay, instead of, show his strength and say, "You're going to do what I say to you," and so on, or leave her go like this, he says, "Look, if you go out like this, I'm afraid you're going to catch a cold. And then I'm going to catch a cold, and then I won't be able to go to work, and I don't want that. So what should we do? Let's find a solution together." So the girl says, "Okay, I don't want to put that. It's lousy, they will make fun of me." "Okay, I understand. What do you suggest? Can I take mom's coat? You like mom's coat?" "Yeah, it's vintage. I love it." "Okay, then go ask her." So the kid goes and asks her mom. She wears the raincoat of her mom. It's 5 sizes bigger, but she's happy with it. So everybody's happy with it, and she goes to school.
And mom caged the cold in this case.
Mom probably is not working, or I don't know what she's doing in that scenario. That's why it's very convenient that there is this vintage raincoat of the mom. But anyway, it's not like this in real life, because I am struggling with this training program, and sometimes it has results and sometimes it doesn't, and I don't know if I'm any good at it, but yeah, I'm trying. But the thing is that when the child is invited to contribute to the solution, first of all, it feels like an adult, it feels like an equal, and it takes ownership of the solution, so he's trying to do his best to make it work with the parent and so on. So this is the juice of this book. The rest of it is, like repetition and examples and so on. I think these 3 methods are what is the training all about. So next slide is all about, open the floor for questions and so on. And if you want, we can make some role-playing game, like someone can be the father and I will be the child.
We know who will be the child.
Who will be the victim of the father?
Okay, you are not parents, are you, Alec?
No.
No, are you? No? So, okay, we have one parent here, and what I wanted to say is about young children. So, about young children, Gordon says that they can learn too, because they observe. So, we cannot be active listeners in the sense that the child is going to speak to us about its feelings or its emotions because it's too young to do that. But they can do things like for a little baby when it's crying and you give him a toy and he throws it away. Okay, you don't have to be genius, you can understand that it's not what it wants.
Mm-hmm.
You try something else. Sometimes, because it's convenient for us, we say, okay, play with the game. No, play with it. No, don't throw it, play with it. And this is not active listening. Or it has a very good example with like a 2 or 3 year old. The mom is going to shop in the supermarket and the parent stays with the baby in the car. So the baby goes crazy. See, I want my mom, where's my mom, I want my mom, and so on. So the parent says, take your favorite toy. No, I don't want it, she throws it away, I want my mom. And then the parent says, okay, you're feeling lonely when mom is not here. Yes. And you want your mom to be constantly with you. Yes. And this is not the toy that you wanted your blanket because it smells like mom, and I don't know, something like that, I don't remember exactly.
It's creation of anchor, it's called in psychology anchor creation.
Anchor, yeah. So after this discussion, and when the parent, the father has acknowledged the child's feelings, she changes the subject and she starts playing around in the car. So sometimes, instead of trying to calm little children, we should just be there and listen and try to understand what is it that they make them so anxious or sad or anything.
We start fixing car when we are together and waited for mom. And
Okay.
if he is anxious, we just start fixing car and it switched his attention completely because he's a boy and car is something amazing. And yeah, that's it. You don't need mine anymore. You have a car.
Yeah, that's good.
For me, I didn't read this book, but for me the concept sounds really familiar because I swear it was, or it still is, author called Елена Petronovskaya. I guess they just use kind of similar concept of parenting based on creation strong relationship based on trust and full awareness between parent and child from the early beginning of, from I don't know, 1 month, and for both of parents. And for me it's really funny because my older sister had a child, and they work in that concept. They just trying to, not me and my sister and me and my brother, we are not fan of concept that our parents used. So she tried to use another one. And for me it's look like miracle because when I see this child and how he behave, it's completely different. He shows that level of self-awareness, confident, I don't know. He knows what he is capable of. He is really making decision on his own. He really trusts his decision. He knows that her mom will not stop her decision. And for me it's, sometimes I look at these children and just would like to see the same level on the adults, because they are not. Because these children completely know what this he could do, this he can't, what he feels, what he doesn't feel, what will help, what will not, and if I will ask the same question for, I don't know, adult in stress, he will answer none of them.
Mm.
And you need, I don't know, half of a year of therapy to get at least one answer. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, remember that children have no filter,
Yes.
so they can say whatever they think, and yeah, that's really really valuable.
Yes, but I mean, from the beginning it is, but it became older and older, and I mean, I still see the difference between him and some other children, because they have some, okay, some funny internal joke. For example, the children decide name for today. So today I am not, I don't know, Sasha. Today I am firefighter. And mom just asked firefighter, do you want to have lunch? He's not yet. And I mean, if he decided that today he's a firefighter, you should use this name. And they just use it. And it was really funny when we crossed the border, because we also have to migrate. And when both got, I mean, asked, okay, is it your mom? He's not answering. Because he
He
shy.
was
And,
a firefighter at the time.
what is your name? Firefighter. I mean, and you could imagine the usual level of adult, I mean, of parent. Just if you are trying to cross a border and your children not behave well, you could get a problem.
Yeah.
But she was just absolutely calm and just observe how it's going, how this board guard and this small firefighter, Sasha, Alexander, just interact. And it was a lot of passion. This so I mean, I just observe this wave of parenting for a while on at least one child, and I really think that it is working better. How we solve conflicts is just amazing.
Also, you said, I remember that you feel suited.
Thank you. Bye. Have a nice weekend.